Hello everyone. I do feel like there is a misconception these days in dating, and there is a saying that I've seen for around like the nice guys come last and all these different things. Also, like girls only like bad boys and all these different things. Um, I feel like they come from places and people who generally are quite insecure in a sense. I feel like they come from people that are they have their own insecurities and they try and use these kind of sayings to kind of fuel them in a way. My personal opinion is, of course, everyone's case is different. Yes, it might relate with you. Yes, it might not relate with you. I tend to realize that the people that say they're the most nice realistically aren't. The same as people that generally believe they're bad. They really aren't the baddest in the grand scheme of things. If you want to relate that to fighting, if you want to relate that to education or generally speaking, so several aspects, it's the case to me. So when I say bad guys and girls like bad guys, I do believe there's an aspect of it. But honestly, the only real definitive answer you should have, especially as a man, and knowing this, is just be yourself. Because realistically speaking, of course, things tend to work. If you have worked on something with someone else and it's worked out for you, the reality is it can work. So knowing that and then seeing that not work for someone else, that shouldn't really deter your motivation on how you feel. Your style of doing things is different with anyone else. Everyone is different in their own ways. Some people will like things, some people won't. And I would like to generalize and say everybody likes the same things, because it's case by case, of course, and it might even be true to a degree. But I believe it's more to do with the topics such as politeness, whether you're polite, emotions, personality, looks, financial situation. Because if you were in a bad financial situation, you might not be that desirable. Sorry about that, guys. If you weren't in the best financial situation, you might not be that desirable. Of course, there are some people that even might still like you then. The percentage of people that might be low. So, of course, there is a lot of things that people say, like the nice guys finish last. I asked the person when he actually said that, like, what did he mean by it? And it's interesting because, you can be in a situation where you're young, and you might even meet someone that you really like, and everyone has different goals. Not everyone wants to actually get married. Not everyone actually wants to have kids. So that saying and throwing it around, it's like you're putting your insecurities out on other people, and you don't realistically even know what people even want for you to say, oh, nice guys finish last. People are just there to have fun. Some people are there to generally settle down, build a family. Some people are there to build that person financially, and that's it. People are in relationships for whole different reasons. I would personally say it's not the same. It's not case by case. It's different for everyone. Sometimes you can know, sometimes you don't know. And generalizing, of course, is something that's the norm, especially the social media age, because it's deemed acceptable in the eyes of people that don't really know. Of course, like, I'm aware. I've been like this. I would say I'm woke. So, of course, like, I might as well start rapping really and truly, but I'm not really a rapping enthusiast, because I like to portray positive. If you want me to be a gospel rapper, I can work on that. So if someone's interested in me doing that, obviously leave a comment in the comment section. I'll start rapping in gospel really, really and truly, to get guys to do the best things and not the worst things, of course. Overcome the tribulations and the trials. Just how it goes, of course. But for the most part, just being yourself is one thing, and not needing to act a certain way to get things done. That's the reality of things. And if you want to take that, please do, because, you've got a whole lot of time wasters on both ends, people trying to do things they can't do to please other people, really and truly, and that's leading them to some place where they shouldn't even be. This is both financially, you don't want to take commitments that you can't even fulfill. It's really in that, it can be the same in relationships and most things that you do as a young adult. I wouldn't say having a kid at the wrong time, at the wrong place, with the wrong person, of course, it's a great thing. Of course, it can be a situation where you might have to, be, very, very confident and motivated to kind of get over that, and be the best person you can, especially as a young adult. But the reality is, when life gives you adversity, when life gives you challenges, you have to overcome that. And if you're the type of person that is keen on being in a relationship with someone that might be interested in you for the long run, then of course don't listen to all of these different contents online that's telling you to act a certain way. Set out, learn, of course, and take a piece from the book. That's it. Just take a page. Like, don't go word for word, because you're not that person. You're not that person. It might work for them, and if it worked for them, why are they not? Or are they? Ask yourself that question. In the same situation you are they with the same person that you might be with? Do they know how they respond to certain things? Will they respond the same way that the person in the video is saying they respond to? It's just these small things that I would say, guys, you should focus on. Because for me, I just like go over the flow. That's really what it is. And I don't like to shy away from that. And if you agree that conversations and things that you have with other people are not planned and calculated all the time, especially when you're outside of work, when you're just trying to be down to earth with someone and have an open and honest conversation, then it might resonate with you and make a lot of sense. That's how we tend to be open and honest with each other, by just trying to set clear, positive, and of course honest conversations. So that's what it is. And if it works, it works. Of course, if you're emotionally not ready to even have a conversation, then don't even bother. But yeah, guys, heal, of course. And before you even think about talking to a lady or the girls, want to talk to a guy, just be respectful. It can go a long way with certain people, of course. And yeah, we go from there.